We're playing Crossover Collaboration, a brand new card from Marvel Superheroes Commander and Pauper Ruby Storm. Let's go check it out. Today we're playing Pauper Ruby Storm featuring Crossover Collaboration, which is a brand new spell from Marvel Superheroes for 200 red. It's an instant and has Teamwork 2, which means that you could tap creatures with power 2 in order to add the Teamwork cost to this spell. You exile the top 2 cards of your library until the end of your next turn. You may play those spells, and then if you pay the Teamwork cost, you create a treasure. In this deck, our creatures that we're tapping are Goblin and Archimancer and Thornscape Familiar. Both of these creatures reduce the mana value of Crossover Collaboration, and often when you're winning, you'll actually have multiple of this effect in play, which means Crossover Collaboration, because it generates a treasure, will end up being a free spell in Pauper, which is super powerful, and it's exactly what this deck is looking for. If you're looking for similar effects that exile and create card advantage, we have Glimpse the Impossible and Reckless Impulse. The Crossover Collaboration is taking the spot of Ren's Resolve today, but we also have things like Big Score. And how we generate mana is often using Big Score, but also things like Desperate Ritual, Manamorphose, and then a card banned in Modern, which would be Seething Song. And that's really what we're doing today. And then if you want to know how we win, it's using First Day of Class and giving all of our creatures haste before playing Seize the Storm to create a giant trampling hasty monster. That's what we're doing. And First Day of Class is actually pretty interesting in this deck because it allows you to grab lesson cards from the sideboard, like it'll Quench Ya, which stops something like Prismatic Strands. Origin of Metal Bending protects your reducers like Goblin and Archimancer or Thornscape Familiar. Abandoned Attachments draws cards. Firebending Lesson answers creatures that might be problematic, like a Krark Clan Shaman, for example. And then we have Gruul Turf, which comes in against blue decks, so that way we can hit our land drops and reset the Sandstone Needles or Hickory Woodlots. And then Pyroblast and Red Elemental Blast, because I'll be honest with you, this deck's bad matchups are blue decks, so why not solve them with a pile of Pyroblast? So that's the game plan. That's what we're doing today. I hope you enjoy it. If you do, like, comment, subscribe, all that great stuff, but I'll see you in the first match, so don't go anywhere. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe. You can also show your support by becoming a member of this channel. You get sweet perks such as badges, emotes, early access to videos, exclusive members-only content, and access to our members Discord section. As you increase the tiers, there are other rewards such as shop discounts, sideboard guides, and even free donation decks. Click the join button down below to find out more. We also have other ways you can support us, like the epicstorm.com/shop or submitting a donation deck via the epicstorm.com/donation decks. That's enough for now. Let's play some Magic. Welcome to match number 1. We're on the play with Pauper Ruby Storm. Let's go. All right, so we have 1 land and then the Thornscape Familiar. I mean, if you hit land number 2, this hand is broken, but it also needs to be a green land. I think we're supposed to mulligan. This is pretty darn good. I think we bottom the Geothermal Crevice. Or would it be better to get rid of the First Day of Class here? Maybe the First Day of Class. So I don't know what the opponent's playing, but only having 2 lands creates some amount of risk. So if they're on a deck that's highly interactive or, you know, a discard strategy, I like the idea of having a spare land. Also, Panza exists in Pauper. So the First Day of Class is really a card you use towards the end of the combo. So I think having the spare land is better up front. Hickory Woodlot and pass. We play Ancient Den, Thraben Inspector. Okay. We'll play Mountain and the Goblin and Archimancer. Unfortunately, we have to pass the turn. Turn 2 is somewhat likely with this deck. I've seen it happen on the other side of the table more often than I would like. But turn 3 is pretty typical. And they have a cast down for our Goblin and Archimancer. I didn't think that they were playing black. I thought they were mono white, so that's why I played out the Goblin there. We'll play Geothermal Crevice, pass the turn. They swing, ouch. They put in this card from Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles that I've never seen before, sure. I'll take 3, so I'm at 16 and they replay the Thraben Inspector. Desperate Ritual. We'll play Reckless Impulse here. And pass. They swing, ouch, I'm at 12. They draw a card off their creature. They're up to 5 cards in hand. Refurbish Familiar. That's actually really good for them here. I think the worst card in my hand is Desperate Ritual. We're going to get rid of that. Another Vault of Whispers. If they have a creature removal spell, I probably lose. We'll play the Thornscape Familiar, and then Reckless Impulse. Sacrifice the Geothermal Crevice. I'll play Manamorphose. Red. We have the Crossover Collaboration, but I'm not sure if that's something I want to play right now. Big Score puts me down 1 mana. Tough spot. Drawing the Glimpse of the Impossible means that I would have been better off keeping the Desperate Ritual, but I don't know. Maybe I made the wrong choice there. I think I'll try the Big Score. We'll get rid of Glimpse of the Impossible. We draw another Thornscape Familiar, but I'm all out of mana. So I think maybe I just play Geothermal Crevice and pass. Okay, I guess it's like sort of free to play the Reckless Impulse. See if I spike a Desperate Ritual or something. I did hit a Desperate Ritual, but I kind of think I'm supposed to pass. I'll take 6 next turn, down to 6. They have 3 cards in their hand. Alright, we're going to play Desperate Ritual. Big Score, discard, Thornscape Familiar. Seething Song, okay. Would have liked an untapped land there, so that way I could have played the Goblin and Archimancer. We'll do red, Seething Song. And then let's Crossover Collaboration with the Teamwork. We'll tap the Thornscape Familiar. This will give me a green for the Goblin and Archimancer. Okay, and now we'll play the Goblin and Archimancer. Seething Song. Glimpse the Impossible for 1. Okay, we'll play Big Score. This will be a break even. Discard the Sandstone Needle. Crossover Collaboration is free here. Tap the Goblin and Archimancer. We're running on fumes. We'll play First Day of Class. I think I want to grab Abandoned Attachments here. Yeah, we'll grab Abandoned Attachments. Play Mountain. And then we'll Abandon Attachments. Discard the Desperate Ritual. We're just not drawing our win condition halfway through. We'll play another First Day of Class. Grab the other Abandoned Attachments. We'll cast it. Discard the Geothermal Crevice. It's not particularly good. I think we're out of gas here. We'll play Thornscape Familiar. First Day of Class triggers twice. Pass the turn. And step they draw off the clue. We'll get some Eldrazi Scions here that end up getting a little bit bigger because of the First Day of Class. I guess it's only 1. Alright, pass the turn. They swing out. I'll put the Thornscape Familiar in front of the Raven Inspector, and then the Eldrazi Spawn in front of the black creature. I take 2 down to 10. Grim Bauble. Kills the larger Thornscape Familiar. Another Refurbished Familiar. I'll discard my Sandstone Needle. Scoured Barrens. They go up to 19. They have 2 cards in their hand. We draw another land. Play the Hickory Woodlot. I think I just have to pass the turn. They draw off the clue token. They swing. I go to 6. Okiba Gang. Nope. Foot Ninjas. I've never seen this card before. Okay, so it enters, they gain 3, and I'll take 7 down to 3. Okay. And then they can replay the Refurbished Familiar, and I'll discard the Mountain. I need a lot of run goods here. Well, that's a start. We'll play Crossover Collaboration with the Teamwork. Tap Thornscape Familiar. Another Crossover Collaboration. Okay. Tap the Goblin and Archimancer. We hit Seize the Storm, but I think it's not enough. 32 cards in my graveyard. I don't know what I can actually do. So we'll play First Day of Class. I guess we'll grab Firebending Lesson. Actually, hold on. Let's think about this. So I'm probably going to want to play Goblin and Archimancer. I think it's probably better to grab Origin and Metal Bending. So if I spend 3 mana here, I can play the Goblin and Archimancer. I don't even think it matters. I don't think I can play this spell. I don't have enough mana. 33 cards in my graveyard. I don't think I can deal 22, but we'll play my spells. Play the Sandstone Needle. Play Seize the Storm. How big are you? Let's find out. 24? This does it. Wow. 25 after the trigger. I did not think we were going to win this. Swing. Incredible. Wow, we just got pretty lucky. Ooh, that was amazing. Okay. We're facing a discard deck. I think I want the Gruul Turfs, and I'm going to board out a few copies of Desperate Ritual. We'll try this. I think hitting your land drops in this matchup is going to be very valuable. It also reduces mulligans. Game number 2 on the draw. This seems great. I will keep. Our opponent has taken a mulligan. Vault of Whispers. and Duress. Okay. They take the Seize the Storm. We'll play... Oh! I meant to click on Hickory Woodlot. I did not mean to do that. Whoops. When my hand shifted when I drew a card, I just, like, clicked at the same time my hand moved. So unfortunate. They play Lembas. We'll play the Hickory Woodlot now. In shame. Pass the turn. They play Scoured Barrens. Thankfully, they're a slow deck and I'm not being punished here. Another Hickory Woodlot. Pass. They play Core Skyfisher, picking up the Lembas and an Orzhov Basilica. That's fine. We will play Reckless Impulse, play the Geothermal Crevice, pass the turn. They play a second copy of Duress. They take Glimpse the Impossible. Interesting. Okay. They attack. Ouch. They play Vault of Whispers, 4 cards in their hand. They play Lembas. Keep the card on top and they pass. We'll draw. Play Glimpse the Impossible into 3 lands. Okay. We'll play Geothermal Crevice. Pass the turn and get a couple Eldrazi Scions. They swing again. I'll go to 16. Tithing Blade. Sacrifice one of the spawns. They play Glint Hawk. They pick up the Tithing Blade. And they pass. This means that they must be holding open removal. I mean, I could try to go for it here. We'll play Goblin and Archimancer. And then tap a Geothermal Crevice to play Reckless Impulse. And I'm going to respond to this removal spell. We'll sacrifice the Geothermal Crevice. Tap the Hickory Woodlot. Actually, I guess I don't need to tap Hickory Woodlot yet. We'll play Manamorphose and make 2 red. Actually, I'll do a red and a blue. Because I could counter this cast down if I drew first day of class, and I do. And now we'll sacrifice the Eldrazi Spawn. We'll play Seething Song. We'll play Crossover Collaboration with the Teamwork, using the black. Tap the Goblin and Archimancer. We'll play First Day of Class. We'll grab It'll Quench Ya. And then we'll counter the cast down using a green. And now Reckless Impulse. It's big score a land. Okay. We'll use the green from Hickory Woodlot. Play the big score. Discard Gruul Turf. Ooh. Okay. We'll play the second copy of Goblin and Archimancer. Trigger. And now we'll play Manamorphose. Red. Another big score. I guess we'll play big score, discard the Crossover Collaboration into 2 lands. Okay, well, I can flashback Seize the Storm. That is something I'm allowed to do here. Play the Desperate Ritual. How much does this cost? 8, so it costs 6. I think I'll play the Mountain. I can play the Gruul Turf next turn. And we'll play Seize the Storm. Wait, hold on. Did I overpay? Yeah, I did. Alright, so now we'll Seize the Storm. It's only 15 power, 16 after the trigger, and we'll attack for 19. So this is not enough to win the game here. Swing. And they just go to 2. They don't bother blocking, so it's probably a pretty good indicator that they have an answer for the elemental. Grim Bauble. Yep. We know that they have a Tithing Blade. We have double Tithing Blade. And then Cast Down. Wow. Okay. So I got them to 2, and now we need to draw into the win. Their last card in hand was a Vault of Whispers. Glimpse the Impossible. I think I'm going to hold that for now. Pick up a land. Pass. So they have 1 card in their hand. I'm about to go to 8. They play Orzhov Basilica. Picking up the land that gains life. Seething Song. Let's start by playing Glimpse the Impossible. Double Thornscape Familiar. Okay. We'll play Mountain. Sacrifice our treasures. Thornscape Familiar. And Thornscape Familiar. And then I'll get an Eldrazi Scion. They sacrifice the Lembas, going up to 5. I mean, I have 1 more draw step. That's it. Because they're attacking for 4 in the air here. And I can't block. And then they'll attack. Ooh, they're not attacking with the Core Skyfisher? They're giving me an extra turn. Interesting. Okay. A Thraben Charm to kill a Thornscape. Seize the Storm. So, I think that this was... If they had attacked, this was a dead draw. And they just used a Thraben Charm when I can now play this. I think I just caught a pretty big break. We'll play Seething Song and Seize the Storm. And now we'll flash it back. Okay. Play Hickory Woodlot, pass the turn. If they had attacked, I would have lost. But now I'm in a position where I can possibly win. They surveil 2 off of Grim Bauble. And now they attack with both. I mean, if they have a large ninja here, I'm dead because I can't block. I go to 2. What can first day of class do for me here? Firebending Lesson doesn't deal damage to players. It only deals damage to creatures. I mean, I'm only going to attack with the elementals, I think. There's not really a reason to attack with the Thornscape. Swing with the 2 elementals. The opponent says GG's, GG's to the opponent, and we win match number 1. I don't know if I deserved this one, but, you know, we're all learning and trying to get better at the game. It happens. So, we're now 1-0. Let's go win match number 2.
Building a new deck usually means getting hit with a dozen different shipping fees from a dozen different sellers. It adds up fast, and honestly, it's the worst part of buying cards. That's why I switched to Card Trader Zero. You shop their global marketplace, but instead of having every seller ship to you, they ship to Card Trader's hub first. Card Trader then packs everything into a single shipment for you, and it saves a small fortune on shipping fees. This package from Card Trader just arrived. These are 4 dark rituals that came from 4 different sellers, but they all arrived in one envelope, and every card was quality checked by the Card Trader team before it hit my door. Check out the link in the description to try Card Trader Zero's optimizer for yourself. Stop paying for multiple shipments and get just one.
We're back for the second match on the draw. This hand is delightful. We will keep. They play a Citadel Gate. Sure. So it taps for white and green. We'll play Geothermal Crevice, pass the turn. And now they have a red mana source, Malevolent Rumble, and they hit Prismatic Strands. 3 of them. Ay, ay, ay. Okay. We'll play Hickory Woodlot, pass the turn. I don't know if we can beat triple Prismatic Strands. Not in game 1. They play Melded Moxite, discarding Sneaky Snacker. So no white creature, not yet. Okay, so it looks like I should try to win on my turn. Well, that certainly helps. So we'll play Thornscape Familiar, sacrifice the Geothermal Crevice, play another Thornscape Familiar, play Mountain, Vesper Ritual, Glimpse the Impossible. It's another Glimpse the Impossible. We'll play that. Oh my, that's terrible. What are you doing to me, deck? Manamorphose. Red, red. Why are you like this? Come on. Just the stone cold worst. Oh, that was terrible. We'll play Reckless Impulse. Pass the turn. We have a lot of colorless mana going into next turn, and we missed our opportunity to beat Prismatic Strands. They play Faithless Looting, discard Sneaky Snacker and Luminarch Veteran. So they can bring back the Veteran this turn for the Prismatic Strands. And instead they play Journey to Nowhere, which I'm okay with. I don't actually need that Thornscape Familiar. So this gives me another chance to try to win, but I'll need to draw better this time. First day of class. We'll tap the Woodlot, sacrifice a token. We'll play Thornscape Familiar again. We'll use the green mana to play Manamorphose. Red, red. Big Score is a good find. Sacrifice a token. We'll play Big Score. Discard the Mountain. Double Goblin and Narcomancer. That's a little awkward here. Let's play Reckless Impulse. Seething Song was great. We'll play that. Crossover collaboration with the teamwork. We'll tap the new Thornscape Familiar. And I'm afraid we've bricked. Yeah, that's some bad luck so far. We've seen half of our deck. I guess I'll play First Day of Class. Grab Abandoned Attachments. We'll play it discarding Goblin and Narcomancer. Draw 2. There we go. There we go, baby. Seething Song. Seething Song. We'll make a green. Goblin and Narcomancer. Trigger. We'll play Seize the Storm. And then we'll flash it back. And the opponent concedes. Triple Prismatic Strands and just chose to not play a white creature. I'm being gifted wins right now. Flaring Pain comes in. Brought out a Desperate Ritual. But I think that's it. Submit. Game number 2 on the draw. This is reasonable. We'll keep. They play a Cliff Gate. We'll play Hickory Woodlot. Pass the turn. These sort of slow matchups, you love seeing hands with 4 lands. Like, it is almost ideal. They play Melded Moxite. Discard Sneaky Snacker. Comes back. Play Sandstone Needle. Pass the turn. And now they attack. Ouch. I go to 18. They play a Boros Guildgate and they just pass. We'll play Sandstone Needle, pass the turn. On their end step, I want to big score. Okay, I go to 16. They play another land, Sacred Cat. 5 cards in their hand. End step, we'll play big score, and I'll discard the Geothermal Crevice. Okay, that's fine. Thornscape Familiar. So I could try for it here. I don't want to. I'm suspecting that they're holding open Prismatic Strands. We'll play Thornscape Familiar, tap Sandstone Needle, play Reckless Impulse into 2 lands. Perfect. Exactly what we wanted. Play Desperate Ritual. And now we'll play Seething Song. We'll play Big Score, discard Hickory Woodlot. Let's try Crossover Collaboration. Tapping the Thornscape Familiar. We find Seize the Storm. I'll play Big Score, discard Seething Song. I think I want the card advantage. Tough decision there. Play Sandstone Needle. I guess I'll Reckless Impulse. And then we'll play another copy of Reckless Impulse. And then Thornscape Familiar. We'll play Crossover Collaboration with the Teamwork. So this spell is free. And I hit first day of class, Seize the Storm. I'm going to just play a Seize the Storm here. Pass. That could have gone a little better. Is this Thraben Charm? It is. I now have a 2/2 trample. Nice. Journey to Nowhere. They exile my 2/2. Not very kind. And the festivities. Wow. Okay. I lose this one. We'll go to the next one. I needed some better reveals there. Okay. We will submit. On the play for game 3. Keep. We'll play Sandstone Needle and pass. They play a Manor Gate. They choose white. Okay. Sandstone Needle, pass the turn. Basic Mountain. And a Malevolent Rumble. It's a Prismatic Strands and a Sneaky Snacker. They take the Journey to Nowhere, as expected. We'll play Geothermal Crevice, pass the turn. They pursue the pass, so they gain 2 life, discard a card, and then draw 2. Sneaky Snacker. And a Basic Plains. So they're holding open Thraben Charm here. I'll play Big Score, discard the Geothermal Crevice. Another Glimpse the Impossible. I think I'm just going to Reckless Impulse and pass. I don't think I'm ready to try to win yet. Pass the turn. They attack with Sneaky Snacker. Faithless Looting. Discards a Sacred Cat and a Manor Gate. Now they play Citadel Gate. Sacred Cat comes back. They're definitely holding open Prismatic Strands. I think we'll just go to my turn. Geothermal Crevice. Sacrifice the Geothermal Crevice. We'll play Thornscape Familiar. We'll play Big Score, discard Geothermal Crevice. Play Reckless Impulse for 1. Manamorphose. Red. Play Glimpse the Impossible. There's a Seething Song. Happy to see that. We'll play the Seething Song. Reckless Impulse. Another Seething Song. Actually, hold on. I might want to hold that. We'll play Glimpse the Impossible. See if I can hit another Reducer first. And I do. We'll play Goblin and Archimancer. Seething Song. And I'm going to basically have Idelquentia to counter whatever they have available. Let's play First Day of Class. We'll grab Idelquentia. Play Crossover Collaboration with the Teamwork, tapping the Thornscape Familiar. And now we have Flaring Pain for Prismatic Strands. I think we've won. I just need to keep on playing spells at this point. Crossover Collaboration for free, tapping the Goblin and Archimancer. We'll play another Goblin and Archimancer because this makes the big scores positive on mana. Play Big Score from exile. Discard Glimpse the Impossible. Manamorphose. Red-green. Another First Day of Class. We will select Firebending Lesson. Kill the Sacred Cat. Make them cast the Prismatic Strands now. So now the Firebending Lesson. We'll play Flaring Pain. Let's play Big Score. Getting rid of Crossover Collaboration. This actually makes a mana. And now we can play Thornscape Familiar, so Seize the Storm only costs 1 mana. We'll play Glimpse the Impossible. Seething Song. Manamorphose. Green Red. We'll play Crossover Collaboration. No Teamwork. We'll play another Goblin and Archimancer. Triggers. Seize the Storm for 1 mana. 28/28, no big deal. We'll flashback Seize the Storm for 2 mana. Pretty good. Go to combat, and I have a counterspell open for your Thraben Charm. Swing. There's Thraben Charm. We'll play Idelquentia. Sorry, nope. And now you could take a whole boatload of damage. We win the match. We are now 2-0. Looking to make playing your favorite combo deck much easier? Look no further than the Epic Storm Mini Combo Pack, which is available at theepicstorm.com/shop for $15.99. This token combo pack comes with 84 double-sided tokens featuring classic Storm and Mana tokens with new inclusions such as our modern Ruby Storm package, but that's not all. Our token pack covers a variety of formats from Pauper to CDH with new tokens. Stop on by theepicstorm.com/shop and make an easy decision to elevate your combo game. The third match, we're on the draw. This hand isn't perfect. We don't have a reducer and we don't have a second land. That said, I do have a Reckless Impulse that we can play on the second turn. I have no idea what they're playing. It appears to be mono red. Great Furnace into Goblin Tomb Raider, Goblin Guide and Pauper. Here we go. I go to 18. Play Sandstone Needle, pass the turn. They play Mountain into Voldaren Epicure, creating a blood token. They attack for 2. I go to 15. Ouch. We did not draw the land. I'll play Reckless Impulse. And no land there. Brutal. Pass the turn. So something we can do next turn is go Desperate Ritual into Seething Song and then try to draw cards after that. They play land number 3, another Goblin Tomb Raider, and Goblin Bushwhacker. Okay. Close to dead. But they've tapped out, so if I do find a reducer, we can go off. There's the land I wanted last turn. Desperate Ritual, Seething Song. Trying to think what's the best way to go forward. It might be big score here, because if I do draw a reducer, I could actually play it off the treasures, and then Manamorphose into Seething Song. It just doesn't dig the deepest. But I think it's the line that gives me the best chance of winning. Discard the Hickory Woodlot, and I did not hit. We're probably dead. We'll play Manamorphose, red-green. Top 25% of my deck, and we did not find one. We'll play Seething Song into Big Score, discard Sandstone Needle. Yeah, we've seen too many cards at this point. Burned too much mana. Yeah, they got it. If that Hickory Woodlot was sooner, I think we actually could have been okay, but I also could have won here if I would have just found a reducer faster. And we didn't have one in the top 33% of our deck. Our first reducer was 23 cards down. Unfortunate. Okay, so I don't believe we sideboard in this matchup. We just send it back and hope to do better. Previously, there were Weather the Storms in the sideboard, but the Pauper Ruby Storm community has decided that they're not actually that useful, and I think I'd agree. Because when they're useful, you're already winning. Like, you're like, oh, I guess I'll play out a bunch of stuff and Weather the Storm to gain 40 or whatever. But that means you didn't win. So it's really not that amazing. So I agree with not playing it at all. I know if you're someone who doesn't play this deck a lot, you must be thinking, but it makes perfect sense. You're a Storm deck, you can gain 40 life. Yeah, but if you're in the spot where you could gain 40 life, literally any card that helps you to keep going would have been better. So I agree with not playing Weather the Storm. Game 2 on the play. Sure, this seems reasonable. Hickory Woodlot, pass the turn. Mountain, Voldaren Epicure. We'll play another Hickory Woodlot, pass. Goblin Tomb Raider. And another Goblin Tomb Raider. Yikes. Alright, so we're going to go to 14. Here they have 4 cards in their hand. We'll play Geothermal Crevice, pass the turn. They attack for 5. This will put me to 9. Land number 3. Relic of Progenitus, that's a problem for my Seize the Storms. Okay. I think I'm supposed to try to do something here. We'll play Thornscape Familiar. And then we'll attempt a Manamorphose. We'll make 2 red. Another land. Sacrifice the Geothermal Crevice. Play Desperate Ritual. Reckless Impulse. We'll play the Mountain. Play Reckless Impulse. Goblin and Narcomancer. We're going to Fire Blast on the Thornscape Familiar. I'll respond with a Manamorphose. Red-green. We'll crossover collaboration with the teamwork. Tapping the Thornscape Familiar. And then we'll Desperate Ritual. The Relic of Progenitus on the battlefield is an issue for Seize the Storm. We'll play another crossover collaboration with the team, I guess. Yeah, we'll do with the teamwork. Tap the Goblin and Archimancer. First day of class, okay. We'll grab Origin of Metal Bending. Kill the Relic of Progenitus. Make them pop it here. And then we'll play Glimpse the Impossible, which is most likely just making blockers for their creatures. Is it even worth it to play Manamorphose? Probably. No, maybe it's not, because if I don't play anything, I get 3 1/2 creatures, which allows me to double block and kill, or kill Voldaire and Epicure. And my Seize the Storm still gets bigger. So I think I'm actually supposed to just pass here and take my 3 1/2 creatures. Okay. They didn't use the blood token on the end step. Chain Lightning to kill my Goblin and Narcomancer, I'm fine with that. They swing. We'll double block and kill a Goblin Tomb Raider, and I'll take 2 down to 7. Play the Sandstone Needle. We'll play Seething Song, Seize the Storm, and I think I'm supposed to attack for 2 here. Alright, get in there. Clockwork Percussionist. They swing. I'll block the Goblin Tomb Raider and go to 6. Maybe swinging with both was a bad idea. Another first day of class. So, Seize the Storm costs 7 to flashback. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I'm 1 mana short. Oh, first day of class into Seize the Storm, that is. So what I could do, and I'm just talking through options here, I could leave open first day of class into Idolquentia, so that way if they drew land, they can't go bolt, bolt, kill me. And then I would attack for 7, bringing them down to 11. Just trying to think through my options here. I'm definitely playing Hickory Woodlot no matter what. Whoop, undo. And then we'll attack. They'll take 7, and I think I just pass here, and I leave up the counter spell in case I need it. They did draw the other land. They now have Metalcraft, so Galvanic Blast deals 3. I'm sorry, deals 4. Searing Blaze. I think I'm supposed to counterspell this, right? So this would put me to 3. The attack puts me to 2. They can't Fire Blast. So if let's say I let this resolve. Next turn I have 2, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9. That's enough to first day of class into lethal. So I think I actually let this go. I'm at 3. The attack puts me to 2. I don't think it's worth playing Thornscape Familiar here. I could be wrong. Let's talk it through. So let's say I start on first day of class. I play Thornscape Familiar. It's a little bit bigger. And then the Seize the Storm would cost 6. And I'd have 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's just play first day of class. Grab Firebending Lesson. Seize the Storm. Play my land, and that will attack. Okay, so we managed to make a comeback that game. Searing Blaze, that's one I need to keep in mind. Run back the same configuration. Good hand. Keep. Great Furnace. Goblin Tomb Raider. Always with the Goblin Tomb Raider on turn 1. We'll play Hickory Woodlot, pass. That's a lot of lands in our hand. I did not need number 4. They play a land. Clockwork Percussionist. And Relic of Virginitas. Wow. They are drawing quite well. We drew another land. We'll play Sandstone Needle and pass the turn. I am at 15. They have land number 3, 3 cards in their hand. A kicked Goblin Bushwhacker, just telling me that I have to try to win on my turn now. I'm at 8. They have 2 cards. We drew another land. Why? Why are you like this deck? We'll play our Mountain. Thornscape Familiar. Reckless Impulse. They have Lightning Bolt. So you could argue that this is my own fault, but I don't think it would matter anyway. We could have gone Desperate Ritual first day of class into Origin of Metal Bending, but it's not reduced by Thornscape Familiar anyway. So it would have left me with like 1 mana floating with Reckless Impulse on the stack, which I don't think is a winning position anyway with my draws being so terrible. So I think we're going to let the Thornscape Familiar die and Reckless Impulse. Sure. Garbage. Pass. Voldaire and Epicure. They use the blood token. They swing for 4. I go to 3. And they pass. Or it looks like they're passing. They're paused on their own end step. They're just slow rolling Fire Blast. Okay. You got me. We are now 2-1. Moxfield.com is the easiest way to build a Magic deck online. They support over 30 formats, including Legacy and many other Eternal formats. There are so many options to view decks the way that you want, from text view to individual cards, mana value, and even card price. There's also light mode and dark mode. My personal favorite feature is card tags. This way you can sort cards by function. Moxfield supports collection tracking, Scryfall search, decklist feedback, and so much more. Follow me on Moxfield.com so you can stay updated on all of my decks. Match number 4, we're on the play. Keep. We will play Hickory Woodlot, pass the turn. Basic Island. Play Geothermal Crevice, pass it back to them. End step, they brainstorm. They play another island, and they pass. I don't see a point of playing my creature into counterspell, so I'm going to just pass the turn. End step, they mental note. It's abandoned attachments in an island. And now a Thought Scour. It's 2 lands. They play a Ponder. I hope they tap out for a Cryptic Serpent this turn. That would be great. They did not shuffle. They play an island. And they're going to be disciplined and pass holding open counterspell. We'll play Mountain, pass the turn. I just don't give in to my opponent holding open mana. Like, if I'm not under any pressure, I'm fine just playing Draw Go. Instead, they play Abandoned Attachments. Gets rid of Sneaky Snacker. They cycle a Lorien Revealed. And now they play Tolarian Terror holding open 2. End step, we will play Crossover Collaboration because it's an instant. Ritual and Glimpse the Impossible. Okay. We will try Goblin and Archimancer. They finally use their counterspell. Alright, so I think this is a spot where we're supposed to try to shove. So I'm going to use both of my Geothermal Crevices. We'll Manamorphose to make 2 red. This way I can splice Desperate Ritual. Red, red. We actually hit the Goblin. Nice. So I cannot splice if I lead on Goblin. So I think I'm still going to splice here. Maybe that's wrong. Let's play the Goblin and Archimancer. Yeah, maybe I'm still supposed to splice. I just don't know. We'll play Desperate Ritual. And now I will play Glimpse the Impossible using the black mana into 3 lands. Lovely. Okay, we'll play Mountain. Big score, discard Sandstone Needle. Play Desperate Ritual. Glimpse the Impossible. We hit another Goblin and Archimancer. Okay, we'll play it. Crossover Collaboration is free here. We'll play it with the Teamwork. We hit Seething Song, that was perfect. Played the Seething Song. Glimpse the Impossible. Seething Song. Play Reckless Impulse. We'll play Big Score, discard Reckless Impulse. So Big Score's a break even here, but it actually gives me green to play the Thornscape Familiar. We'll play First Day of Class. Grab Abandoned Attachments. Play Abandoned Attachments. Discard the Mountain. We'll play Big Score. Discard Desperate Ritual. Manamorphose. Green, red. Thornscape Familiar. Trigger. Seize the Storm for 1 mana. And now we'll flash it back the Seize the Storm. We win! Nice! I mean, it was hairy there for a moment, but we still won. Love it. Okay, so we'll bring in Pyroblast. Blue Elemental... I guess the red Elemental Blast. I'm just yammering. Board out all 4 copies of Desperate Ritual. Board out 2 copies of First Day of Class. And then the last cuts are more difficult. Because I actually do like 19 lands. So my personal opinion is that the big score effects aren't very good versus blue, especially when they're boarding like Hydroblasts and stuff. So I want to take out a big score or 2, and then I think maybe you can get rid of like 1 copy of Seething Song, which doesn't leave a ton of mana in your deck, but these matchups tend to be more grindy post board. The alternative is if you want to leave in all 4 copies of Seething Song, which I don't personally hate, is you could try boarding out down to like 1 First Day of Class, but I think that's like really sketchy. You could also try shaving like 1 Crossover Collaboration. Maybe this is okay. You could also try -1 Seize the Storm. That might be okay too. We'll try that. We'll bring back the Crossover Collaboration. A lot of lists only play 2 Seize the Storm, but I personally like 3. I find that sometimes your deck just fizzles digging too deep for it. The opponent with a mulligan to 5. They play Contaminated Aquifer, Geothermal Crevice, pass the turn, Basic Island, into Ponder. So they're likely playing black for something like Snuff Out. So you have to think about that when you're trying to decide if you want to try to win or not. It could also just be for like hard casting your snackers, but I'm guessing there's a Snuff Out or 2 in there. Pass the turn. They play an Ice Tunnel. We'll play Geothermal Crevice, pass. My rule is I pretty much don't want to flinch first. Like, I am fine just making my land drops and then looking for my window. Hickory Woodlot, pass the turn. Like, our opponent doesn't know this or might not realize it. Also, they just milled double Tolarian Terror. I love that. They are the aggro deck in this matchup, not me. They play Ponder. They shuffle off the Ponder. They play land number 5. Mental Note. It's Blue Elemental Blast and Deep Analysis. Valerian Terror, sure. 3 cards in their hand. Let's try Crossover Collaboration on the end step, see if this resolves. They use a Spell Pierce. I mean, that's a good use of the card, honestly. 2 cards in their hand. We draw another land. Let's play Reckless Impulse. Play land. We'll play another Reckless Impulse. And we hit Manamorphose Red Elemental Blast. So we have plenty of protection for next turn. We just have to draw a Reducer. They Flashback Deep Analysis. They have 5 cards in their hand. They attack for 5. I'll go to 15. Now they Brainstorm. Land number 6, but the 3rd untap. They play a Sneaky Snacker. Only 1 mana available. Okay. We draw another land. Not great here. We'll begin with Glimpse the Impossible. I hit a Reducer. Okay, that's pretty good. Play Mountain. Sacrifice. We'll play Goblin and Narcomancer. They Hydroblast. I'll play Red Elemental Blast. Honor the Hydroblast. If they have Snuff out here, they're going to get me. But I can't really play around it in this spot anyway. Sacrifice the Geothermal Crevice. We'll play Manamorphose. And they did have the Snuff out. Okay. Red, red. 1 card in their hand. I think I just want to kill the Tolarian Terror. And we'll pay the ward cost. And I'm not in a terrible spot here. Like, our opponent has 1 card in their hand. And my life total's pretty high. Like, I think we're okay. 2 cards in their hand after the draw step. They swing, ouch. 13. Lorien Revealed, that was a great last card in your hand, yeah. So now they've refueled. We draw another land. I think we just play Sandstone Needle and pass. 4 cards in their hand now. Ouch. I go to 11. They play Brainstorm. Gurmag Angler. Okay, I was not expecting that. They have 2 cards. End step. We will big score, discard a mountain. They have 2 cards in their hand. Crossover Collaboration and another Sandstone Needle. Okay. Another land. Play the Sandstone Needle, and I think we just pass here. We'll block the Gurmag Angler, take 2 down to 9. They have 3 cards in their hand. Lorien Revealed. I would like to Crossover Collaboration in response, see if I can hit a blast. We have 5 of them in the deck. Or we could hit 2 lands. Yep. They play an island. We'll play Hickory Woodlot. And I think I want to play Seize the Storm this turn just as bait. Like, I don't even expect this to resolve. But I'm hoping it just gets 1 less card in their hand for when I want to do something next turn. They counterspell. We will pass. 4 cards in their hand. So the attack here will put me down to 2. I've also seen almost half my deck, only 2 blasts. Another Brainstorm, so they've seen a lot of cards here. I think my odds of winning this are probably fairly low. They pass with 4 cards in hand. Another Seize the Storm. It doesn't help me here. Sacrifice the Geothermal Crevice. We'll play Glimpse the Impossible. Another counterspell. We'll play Manamorphose in response. Red, red. We'll Pyroblast on the counterspell. They have a Hydroblast and we're dead. Because I cannot block the Sneaky Snacker in the air. Okay. Game 3. I mean, I felt like I was in the driver's seat for a while that game, but we ended up flooding pretty hard on lands. I know that we boarded up 2 lands with 2 Gruul Turfs, but I never even drew those. I just hit nonstop lands in the middle, which was unfortunate. All right, game 3, keep. They decided to keep their 7. They tanked for a while, so who knows why, but they were at least unsure of it. They play Contaminated Aquifer. We'll play Geothermal Crevice, pass. Ice Tunnel. Glimpse the Impossible. I think we'll just pass here. Land number 3. They play Ponder. And they pass the turn. Looking for a land here. We draw a 2nd copy of Seize the Storm. Kinda stinky. We will pass. End step, they Lorien Revealed. They play another island. Thought Scour hits a Sneaky Snacker and a Hydroblast. And they pass the turn with 7 cards in hand. We draw first Day of Class. Let's play it. I'm going to discard Seize the Storm here just to try to loot into a land. And I did hit Sandstone Needle. Pass. So we only have 1 more first Day of Class in the deck for haste purposes. They play land number 5. Valerian Terror. I think we let this go. It's not really what the matchup is about. 6 cards in their hand. We drew another Red Elemental Blast. I think we just pass here. They play a land, 6 cards in their hand. They attack. Deep Analysis. I think I want to respond here. Big score, discard, seize the storm. We drew a 4th blast. I think we counterspell the deep analysis. They have 5 cards in their hand. We draw another land. I think I'm going to just play Geothermal Crevice and pass. I'm not really in a spot where I feel like I can actually try to win. They attack for 5, I'll go to 10. They cycle Lorien Revealed, 5 cards in their hand. Larian Terror. Okay. And now they flashback Deep Analysis with 4 cards in hand. I think I'm going to cross over Collaboration here. And then we're going to untap and try to do something meaningful on our turn. Land, Glimpse the Impossible. Okay. This returns Sneaky Snacker. They have 6 cards. We'll begin by playing Mountain. Sacrifice the pair of Geothermal Crevice. We'll begin with Seething Song. Actually, hold on. Let's just play the Glimpse the Impossible. Give myself a chance to draw reducers. We do hit a reducer. We'll play Goblin and Archimancer. They Blue Elemental Blast. We will Pyroblast. Goblin and Archimancer. They Counterspell. I will Red Elemental Blast. Goblin and Archimancer. I have to imagine they have a Snuff Out. We'll play Glimpse the Impossible. There's the Snuff Out. Okay, so we'll begin with the Manamorphose. Red, red. Play Seething Song. Play Manamorphose. Green, green. Play Manamorphose. Red, red. Snuff Out cannot resolve. Glimpse the Impossible. We'll play Thornscape Familiar. And then big score. Discard the Mountain. You have another Snuff Out here? I mean, if they're tanking this hard, they're either salting or they have another Snuff Out. And they're trying to debate on the value of killing a Thornscape Familiar versus going after the Elemental token. And they let it go. We'll play Thornscape Familiar. Sacrifice a treasure. We'll play Seething Song. Glimpse the Impossible for 1 mana. Crossover Collaboration. Okay. We'll cast it with Teamwork, so it's free. We did not hit our win. So I could play Seize the Storm plus Pyroblast. In theory, I could try to double Seize the Storm, but if they have like Hydroblast plus something else, I might lose. So these will cost 5 to flashback. I technically have 10 mana. I could double flashback pass, but if they have 2 answers, I lose. Tough call here. They've used 2 blast effects already. 1 Hydroblast, 1 Blue Elemental Blast. And that pause made me think that they have a Snuff Out, so they would only need 1 more blast for double blast to beat me. Tough spot. If I had 1 more mana, this would be a lot easier. But I think no matter what, we're playing one of these. Really wish I had 1 more mana here. Another thought is if they had double Blue Elemental Blast, why would they play Counterspell? So maybe I should just flashback both copies of Seize the Storm. I guess if they have double removal, you got me, but I'm taking my shot at winning here. Seize the Storm. Pass the turn. Oh yeah, we get some blockers. I forgot about that. Okay. They Brainstorm. Nile Spellbomb. No! Wow, what a hit. That's absolutely devastating here. Disgusting. My creatures are now 2/2s. I'll throw some Eldrazi spawns under the bus. Now they have Gurmag Angler. That's terrible. Oh, I was like, well, if they don't have any blockers, maybe I could race here. But that's not how it played out. They have 2 cards in hand. Let's hit a good spell here. We'll try a Reckless Impulse. We will Pyroblast their counterspell. Reckless Impulse. So I have 4 4s that do not win here. Just need to think through this for a moment. So if I just swing here, they eat one of my creatures with the Gurmag Angler. They take 8 down to 5, which is 1 short of killing them on the crackback next turn if they swing out. But if I wait, I am actually pretty far away from killing them. I guess I'll play Roll Turf, pick up a mountain. So if I swing with the 2 familiars, they'll block 1, and then they'll go to 11. Yeah, it still sort of puts me in a bad spot for next turn. I'm going to just pass. I am still capable of winning if I just play well. And they're sending everything. We'll go to blocks, and I'll take 2 down to 6. As of right now, I am short of killing them, so I would need a good draw here. That is not it. Well, I'm glad that I played the Gruul Turf. Play Thornscape Familiar, Sandstone Needle, Seething Song. So if I attack for 5, they'll go to 8. And then I have to block with everything just to survive. And then next turn, I'd have to find 3 points of damage with no reducers, which seems pretty unlikely. But I don't know if I can win otherwise, because if I don't attack, I'm just trading. And then how do I win? I don't have any winning line left. So I have to... If I would have drawn a spell here, we could have had lethal. I guess... Okay, my bad. I needed to draw a spell that wasn't Thornscape. So, like, I don't know, Ren's Resolve or something. So they're at 8. And I am dead to a light breeze here. They did have another snuff out. Alright, I'm dead. GG's. Alright, so unfortunately we lost a really close match. I think I probably would have beaten Mono Blue for what it's worth, but because our opponent was Dimir and had snuff outs, they had the edge. But a really good match regardless, and we are now 2-2. The Gold Sabertooth times the Epic Storm collection has arrived with 3 full-size tokens showcasing the beloved Dark Ritual, CDH Rogsai, and Legacy of the Epic Storm for just $5. On the backs of these tokens, there's a place for my signature or a custom message. In addition to these sweet tokens, a friendly reminder that all orders that ship from theepicstorm.com also come with a signed Storm token from yours truly. The final round, we're on the draw. We will keep. This hand has turn 2 potential if we have a good draw. Probably need something like Manamorphose. They play Urza's Mine, Hickory Woodlot, we will pass. Another Urza's Mine. We'll play Mountain, Goblin and Narcomancer, Thornscape Familiar, pass the turn. They use Visionary's Dance, so they're Blue-Tron, they're not colorless. They use Expedition Map, and they grab a Sea Gate, sure. Great opening for us here to try to win. We'll play Seething Song, Glimpse the Impossible for 1. Tap the Hickory Woodlot. We'll play Thornscape Familiar. Glimpse the Impossible for 1 mana. We'll play Manamorphose. Red. Seething Song. Big Score for 1 mana, so this actually generates a mana. First Day of Class. We'll grab Abandoned Attachments. Play Abandoned Attachments. Discard the Mountain. We'll play First Day of Class. Grab the other Abandoned Attachments. Here we go. Discard the Sandstone Needle. Play Goblin or Narcomancer. This will trigger twice. Vesper Ritual. Seething Song. Play my land. Seize the Storm. Seize the Storm. Boom. We could have made 2 more. Alright, we take game number 1 from Tron. So Tron is a deck that plays a few counter spells, but not a lot. Sort of torn on how to combat this. I feel like you might want a couple. Maybe we just board out Desperate Rituals and keep everything else. Shave 1 First Day of Class for 1 Gruul Turf. Let's try this. A little bit of a hybrid plan here. Game 2 on the draw, this seems fine. They play an island. Sandstone Needle, pass the turn. Urza's Mine. We'll play Hickory Woodlot, pass the turn back. Urza's Tower. We'll play Sandstone Needle, pass. Another copy of Urza's Mine. I'm going to just continue to set up here. They're not doing anything. We'll play Sandstone Needle. We've drawn both copies of Seize the Storm. I guess there's 3, my bad. But less than ideal. And now they have Tron, Prophetic Prism, okay. Drawing their missing Tron piece was very good for them. End step, we'll play Big Score, discard Seize the Storm. They have the one of Unwind. Very strong. Okay. 5 cards in their hand. We'll play Hickory Woodlot, pass the turn. They play Visionary's Dance. Apparently put a Muldrifter to the graveyard. And now a Bojuka Bog. Okay. Mnemonic Wall. I want to respond to this. We'll Big Score. Discard Seize the Storm. Because this is going to get back Unwind. And that's actually a problem for me. Okay. This is our chance. Goblin and Archimancer. Tap the Hickory Woodlot. We'll play Glimpse the Impossible. It looks like they're going to use the Unwind now. We have 4 Pyroblasts on our deck. So we need to find 1 here. Big Score. Discard Geothermal Crevice. There we go. Pyroblast. Counter the Unwind. Glimpse the Impossible. Play my land for the turn. Manamorphose. Red. Play the Reckless Impulse. I guess we'll play Glimpse the Impossible here. First Day of Class and a Pyroblast. Okay. Let's crossover Collaboration. Tap the Goblin and Archimancer. We had another Seize the Storm. I could really use like a Seething Song here. I think I'll play Reckless Impulse, which doesn't hit anything I care about. We're going to try Big Score. Really low on mana at the moment. Big score, discard, Gruul Turf, play Thornscape Familiar. Now I can crossover Collaboration, tap the Thornscape Familiar. So this is a break even. And I hit more lands. No Seething Songs in over the top 50% of the deck. I think I just have to kill the Mnemonic Wall so they can't flicker it. Kill the Mnemonic Wall. And unfortunately pass the turn. I had a really good window to win right there, but the deck just didn't allow me to. They have 5 cards in their hand. Another Mnemonic Wall. It's Unwind. I do have the Red Elemental Blast in hand, so we can actually answer Unwind. And of course Seething Song is there. Why are you like this deck? We'll play Mountain. We'll attempt Seething Song. Play Unwind. I will Red Elemental Blast. Counter the Unwind. Seething Song. Crossover Collaboration. Tapping the Thornscape Familiar. And I did not hit a first day of class. So the best I can do is play a bunch of Seize the Storms this turn. Sacrifice some spawns. So if I do this, I can play both of them, I believe. Okay. Here's the no Ghostly Flicker. Pass the turn. Do we get there? They play Mole Drifter. They draw 2. They have 5 cards in their hand. They concede the match. We got it. Nice. Okay, so we went 3-2. A hero's record. Honestly, I loved the deck list. Like, I really did. I would submit the same 75 all over again. Obviously, we had some rough spots throughout the league where we flooded a bit. But I think that's just like the nature of Pauper, to be honest. If you wanted to, you could try to cut like 1 land down to 16 and then play like 1 Ren's Resolve. Or you could cut 1 land and 1 first day of class for a couple copies of Ren's Resolve. That's another possibility. But I think having first day of class and Seize the Storm just allow you to win. Obviously, they're your win conditions, but I think without having a high density of those effects, you end up spinning your wheels a lot, and then your fizzle rate actually increases. So I like the 75. I would play it again. I don't think I'd actually change anything. If you have strong opinions, put those in the comment section down below. I would love to hear from you. But that's all I've got for today, so I hope you have a wonderful day, and as always, keep storming. Thank you for checking out today's video. If you enjoyed it, leave a like, comment, and subscribe down below. But in our description, you'll find a link to our Discord where you can talk about the deck with other like-minded individuals of varying skill types. It doesn't matter if you're a beginner or an expert, there's people there looking to talk combo. Join our Discord.